Rakuala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Bashanahara Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Bashanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Rasarasika Kripa Moya Shirara Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakti Vinodasraya Bhakti Vinodasraya Hey Yasomati Nandana Prajabara Nagara Yasomati Nandana Prajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Kaliya Damona Vidhana Bamshi Bodhana Suvasa Nanda Godhana Rakawala Rasarasika Kripa Moya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kalachandi Radhe Jaya Radha Kalachandi Radhe Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitha Jaya Gauranitha Jaya Gauranitha Jaya Gauranitha. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Sita, Jaya Jaya Sita, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Lakshman, Jaya Hanuman. Something like that. Jaya Lakshman, Jaya, excuse me, I'm sorry. Jaya, 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 Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshman, Jaya Hanuman. Jaya,
Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram. Jaupati Bhagava Raksaman, Patita Pavana, Sita Ram, Pati Bhagava Raksaman, Patita Pavana, Raghupati Raghava Raksaman, Patita Pavana, Sitaram, Raghupati Raghava Raksaman, Patita Pavana, Sitaram Jayo, Sitaram, Sitaram Jayo, Sitaram, 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 Patita Pavana, Sitaram,
Sitaram, Sitaram. रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, सीताराम जय सीताराम। सीताराम जय सीताराम, मन प्यार रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम सीतापति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तो सीताराम सीताराम हे तो सीताराम राम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तो सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तो सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ho! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Rama, Rama Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Radhe Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Jai Radha Kala Chanji, Radha Kala Chanji, Sri Radhe Radha Kala Chanji. Jagannatha Swami na Janapatagami, na Janapatagami, Baba Tumi. Ho, Jagannatha Swami na Janapatagami, na Janapatagami. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Gauranitai, 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 Gauranitai. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, 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 Gauranitai. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jayo, Prabhupada, ho, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jayo, Prabhupada, ho, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jayo, Prabhupada, ho, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhupada, Jayo, Prabhu. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gol, Haribo, Nitai Bo, Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Tagore Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajaka Chara Sotara Satasisima. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravista Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajaka Chara Sotara Satasisima. His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रिंस कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री अंतर्द्वीप मयपुर की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माँ जी की जमुना माँ जी की तुलसी देवी महारानी की भक्ति देवी की समवेता भक्तवृंद की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की बिहामिलंग शील प्रभु बुक एंड प्रसाद डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की ग्रंथ राय श्रीमद् भगवतां की श्री राधा करचंदी भक्तवृंद की श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की श्री गौरनिताय की सीताराम की सीताराम की जय सीताराम की गौर प्रेमानंदी. All glories to the assemble of the devotees. All glories to the assemble of the devotees. All glories to the assemble of the devotees. All glories Sri Sri Guru Sri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Is here? Is here? Oh, please.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji Dham. Wonderful Ramanavami to all of you. This is our weekly Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari जय गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Sata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are continuing our reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are on Madhya Leela, chapter 9, titled Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Travels to the Holy Places. We are on chapter 9 and we are on text 150. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 9, text 150. So you can pull it on your phones if you want. Please repeat. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 9, text 150. So we are in the section where Mahaprabhu is in which place? Do you know? He is actually doing his South Indian travels. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachandji ki Jai. So Mahaprabhu is traveling south to all the holy places. And now he is in which place? Yeah, Srirangam. We have a good connection to Srirangam also. Do you know how? Kalachandji temple. We have the picture of the Gopura of Srirangam right in our temple. So every day we can take darshan of Srirangam also if we are here in Kalachandji Dham. So Mahaprabhu spent 4 months there in Srirangam. And this conversation, this section that we are reading is a conversation between him and Venkata Bhatta. He was a priest in the Srirangam temple, Venkata Bhatta, and Mahaprabhu was staying in his house during the Chaturmasya, the 4 months of rainy season. And this section is a conversation between Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhatta. So we'll finish up 150, which is the ending of the previous section, and go to the next section. So I don't know if do you want to repeat or should I just sing? Yeah? Okay. Gopinam Pashupendra Nandana Jusho Bhavasya Kastam Kriti Vijñatum Shamate Duruha Padavi Sancharina Prakriyam Avishkurvati Vaishnavimapi tanum Tasmin Bhujerjishnubhir Yasam hanta abhuta ruchim raghodhaya kunchati. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is the word for word translation. Gopinam, of the gopis. Pashupa Indra Nandana Jusha, of the service of the son of Raja's king Maharaj Nanda. Bhavasya, ecstatic. Kaha, what? Tam, that. Kriti, learned man. Vijñatum, to understand. Shamate, is able. Duruha, very difficult to understand. Padavi, the position. Sancharina, which provokes. Prakriyam, activity. Avishkurvati, he manifests. Vaishnavim, of Vishnu. Api, certainly. Tanum, the body. Tasmin, in that. Bhujai, with arms. Jishnubi, very beautiful. Yasam, of whom the gopis. Hanta, alas. Chaturbhi, four. Adbhuta, wonderfully. Ruchim, beautiful. Raga Udaya, the evoking of ecstatic feelings. Kunchati, cripples. Purport. Once Lord Sri Krishna playfully manifested himself as Narayana with 4 victorious hands and a very beautiful form. When the gopis saw this exalted form, however, their ecstatic feelings were crippled. A learned scholar, therefore, cannot understand the gopis' ecstatic feelings, which are firmly fixed upon the original form of Lord Krishna as the son of Nanda Maharaj. The wonderful feelings of the gopis in ecstatic Paramarasa with Krishna constitute the great mystery in spiritual life. Purport. This is a verse spoken by Narada Muni. Jai Shri Radha Kalachanji ki Jai. This is a verse spoken by Narada Muni in Lalita Madhava Nataka 614, a drama written by Srila Rupa Goswami. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So this is a verse that Rupa Goswami is quoting, Prabhupada says, in his Lalita Madhava Nataka. So he wrote 2 dramas. One is Lalita Madhava, one is Vidagdha Madhava. Lalita Madhava speaks about which pastimes of Krishna do you know? Dwaraka. So the V's match. Vidagdha, Vrindavan. Lalita Madhava speaks about Krishna's pastimes outside of Vrindavan. And Mahaprabhu is quoting this verse because, actually Krishnadas Kaviraj, probably Mahaprabhu, is quoting this verse because this is the topic of discussion between Venkata Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of Krishna's supremacy. Because Venkata Bhatta is in Sri Rangam and they worship the form of Lakshmi and Narayan. And then Mahaprabhu is speaking about how ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, which is the essence of this verse. And there are many, many forms and incarnations of Krishna, but among all the incarnations of Krishna, Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. And finally finish his argument on that specific point, Mahaprabhu is quoting this verse of, this is basically in the Rasa Leela, where Krishna has left the gopis, and then they're in separation of Krishna, and they're searching after Krishna. But Krishna playfully shows his form of Lord Narayan. And then they don't really, they're not really attracted to Narayan. And in fact, they ask him, have you seen Krishna? This is what the gopis are asking. So here the verse says, this is a great mystery on how, it's the same person, we'll see, but how one person is attracted to one form and another person is attracted to another form of the Lord. So let's go to the next verse, which is 151, which is what I would like to focus on today. This is Lord Ramachandra's appearance day today. Eta kahi prabhu tara garva churna kariya tanre sukha dite kahe siddhanta firaya. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deflated the pride of Venkatapatta. But just to make him happy again, he spoke as follows. Actually, when they had this argument, or not this argument, this conversation, Chaitanya Charitamrita specifies one single quality in their relationship before they even had this conversation. Does anybody remember what it is? Between whom? Yeah, so they were very friendly already. So they could understand what each of them are speaking about. So this conversation is not something that we have with everybody. We don't go and say, oh, Vishnu is not supreme or Krishna is not supreme, things like that. This was a very jovial conversation, Chaitanya Charitamrita says. And they were very friendly. And then in that mood, they had this conversation. So now Mahaprabhu basically gave all these arguments, which Venkata Bhatta agreed also. But to make him happy, now Mahaprabhu will continue. So from now on, I'll read the verse in translation and then speak a little bit about it. Dukkana bhaviha bhatta kailum parihasa shastra siddhanta shuna jate vaishnava vishwasa. The Lord pacified Venkata Bhatta by saying, actually, whatever I have said is by way of jest. See, again, he's bringing up that point. Now you can hear from me the conclusion of the Shastras in which every Vaishnava devotee has firm faith. So this is the conclusion of all the Shastra, Mahaprabhu is saying. Krishna Narayana Jaiche Eka Iswarupa Gopi Lakshmi Bheda Nahi Hoya Eka Rupa. There is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Narayana, for they are of the same form. Similarly, there is no difference between the gopis and the goddess of fortune, for they are also of the same form. So far what Mahaprabhu has done is he has basically given all the differences between Lord Narayana and Lord Krishna and the gopis and goddess of fortune. In fact, he was saying, why, in jokingly saying, why is your chaste goddess of fortune trying to participate in the rasa dance? This is a question that he asks in this conversation. But now Mahaprabhu is bringing us back to the philosophy of what it actually is. So he's saying the conclusion of Shastra is that there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Narayana. And he just doesn't stop there. Similarly, there is no difference between the gopis and the goddess of fortune. Gopi dware Lakshmi kare Krishna sanga swada Ishwaratve bheda manile hoya aparada. More important, he's saying. The goddess of fortune enjoys the association of Krishna through the gopis. One should not differentiate between the forms of the Lord, for such a conception is offensive. So this is a really important point of how if we start thinking Lord Narayana, Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, different forms, Lord Nrsingadev are all different, then Mahaprabhu is saying such a conception is very, very offensive. Eka Ishvara Bhaktera Dhyana Anurupa Ekai Vigrahe Kare Nanakara Rupa. There is no difference between the transcendental forms of the Lord. Different forms are manifested due to different attachments of different devotees. Actually, the Lord is one, but he appears in different forms just to satisfy his devotees. Srila Prabhupada's purport here is so wonderful. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita 533, it is stated, Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam adhyam purana purusham navayavanam cha. The Lord is Advaita, without differentiation. There is no difference between the forms of Krishna, Rama, Narayana and Vishnu. All of them are one. Sometimes foolish people ask whether when we chant Rama in the Hare Krishna mantra, we refer to Lord Ramachandra or Lord Balarama. If a devotee says that the name Rama in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra refers to Balarama, a foolish person may become angry because to him the name Rama refers to Lord Ramachandra. Actually, there is no difference between Balarama and Lord Rama. It does not matter whether one refers to Balarama or Lord Ramachandra when chanting Hare Rama, for there is no difference between them. However, it is offensive to think that Balarama is superior to Lord Ramachandra or vice versa. Neophyte devotees do not understand this Shastri conclusion, and consequently they unnecessarily create an offensive situation. In text 154, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clarified this in a very lucid way. Ishwaratve bheda manile hoya aparada. It is offensive for one to differentiate between the forms of the Lord. On the other hand, one should not think that the forms of the Lord are the same as the forms of the demigods. This is certainly offensive, as confirmed by the Vaishnava Tantra. Yasya tu narayanam devam brahmarudradi devata samatvenaiva viksheta sapashandi bhavedruvam. A Pashandi is one who considers the great demigods such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana. Hari Bhakti Vilasa 7.117. The conclusion is that we should neither differentiate between the forms of the Lord nor equate the forms of the Lord with the forms of demigods or human beings. For instance, sometimes foolish sannyasis, thinking the body of the Lord to be material, equate Daridra Narayana with Narayana, and this is certainly offensive. Unless one is instructed by a bona fide spiritual master, he cannot perfectly understand these different forms. The Brahma Samhita confirms, Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhaktav. One cannot understand the differences between the forms of the Lord simply by academic study or by reading Vedic literature. One must learn from a realized devotee. Only then can one learn how to distinguish between one form of the Lord and another. The conclusion is that there is no difference between the forms of the Lord, but there is a difference between his forms and those of the demigods. So Mahaprabhu is actually giving the complete conclusion. So this is our tattva also, which is propounded by Mahaprabhu, is Achintya, Bheda, Abheda tattva. Simultaneous Bheda is difference and Abheda is oneness. This is Achintya, it is inconceivable. Especially in the forms of the Lord, it is very inconceivable for us. Because Lord Ramachandra seems to behave differently, Lord Krishna seems to behave differently, Lord Nrsingadev seems to behave differently, and they see and their forms are different also. So how do we know that they are the same person, although they are all different? So Mahaprabhu is quoting here that they are all the same, but they take different forms based on how the devotee actually wants to relate with the Lord. This is the incredible quality of the Lord, is that he changes based on how the devotee wants him to be. Usually it's the other way around, right? Somebody who is very powerful is actually trying to change the other person to how they want them to be. But this is the quality of the Lord, is that he changes based on how the devotee wants to associate with him. So in that sense, Lord Ramachandra is Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is Lord Nrsingadev. In that way they are all one and the same, but at the same time there is difference also, like how Mahaprabhu was quoting before, on how each individual devotee relates with the Lord in a different way. Lakshmi wants to relate with Lord Narayan, the gopis want to relate with Krishna, And in that way, the Lord is very merciful in having so many different forms to satisfy the wishes of the devotee. And this is very difficult to understand, Prabhupada says, unless we hear from a realized devotee. Because what happens is this concept is stretched, right? To say everybody is Krishna. So we say all the forms of the Lord are the same. But then if we don't understand this properly from a bona fide source, then we say everybody is Krishna. So the demigods are Krishna, which is at least, it's not okay, but at least you can try to make sense of it because they're very powerful, they can do things, and you can say, okay, they're godly. But then Prabhupada is quoting here that how it stretches to say Krishna is also Daridra Narayana. Daridra Narayana means these are people who are very poor, and say, oh, these poor people are Narayana also. So it stretches to say everything is the same, everybody is the same. Prabhupada is making it very clear that the different forms of the Lord are the same, but there is also a difference between Krishna and the demigods. And what to speak of Krishna and the spirit souls. There is no oneness there at all. But the point that Prabhupada is making is there is no difference between all the forms of Lord Vishnu. This is the category of tattva or truth known as the Vishnu tattva. In that Vishnu tattva, there is no difference. But all of us don't fall under the tattva of Vishnu tattva. We fall under the tattva of Jiva. We're all individual spirit souls. We're parts and parcels of the Lord. Actually, we are minute, minuscule, infinitesimal parts and parcels of the Lord. So we cannot be Krishna. So this point, if it is not understood right, can lead us into the worst kinds of philosophy, which is to say, I am God. This is what the Mayavadis say, that I am God, you're God, everybody is God. So this can lead us into a very difficult situation. And this, Prabhupada is quoting, Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakta. This is actually for, I've seen it in our society, it becomes very easy. Like even kids can know this philosophy. But this philosophy is actually not so easy to understand. Vedeshu durlabam. Even when studying the Vedas, you cannot really understand what this means. This can only happen when we are under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. So today is Lord Ramachandra's appearance day, and we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I was thinking how we're talking about oneness in this section of how Krishna and Lord Ramachandra are non-different, the same. So I was thinking about how Mahaprabhu and Lord Ramachandra have so many similarities between themselves. There is actually a lecture that Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives on Lord Mahaprabhu. I mean, I didn't even know somebody would have something like this. Mahaprabhu and Lord Ramachandra. He's been doing, I think last year he was doing this tour of Lord Ramachandra. He came here to give a series of lectures on Ramachandra. I think he gave one lecture that spoke about the oneness or the similarities, not oneness, between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Ramachandra. And he quoted so many similarities there. But what I wanted to focus on is this really famous verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the 11th canto. So this is 11:5:34. This not only does the oneness between Mahaprabhu and Lord Ramachandra, but includes Krishna also. The Acharyas say how this one verse can speak simultaneously about all these three different incarnations of the Lord. Lord Ramachandra, Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is a very beautiful verse. Tyaktva sudustyaja surepshita rajya lakshmim dharmishta arya vachasaya dagada arya aranyam maya mrigam daitayepshitamanvadhavad vande mahapurushate charanaravindam. Translation: O Mahapurusha, Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. You can consider this Mahapurusha to be all three great personalities, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I worship your lotus feet. You gave up the association of the goddess of fortune and all her opulence, which is most difficult to renounce and is hankered after by even the great demigods. This is one quality, they say, of this Mahapurusha, is that he has given up the association of the goddess of fortune and all the opulence that comes with it. which is very difficult for even the demigods to give up. The second quality that this verse mentions is being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you thus left for the forest in obedience to the Brahmana's curse. And this is the second quality of this Mahapurusha. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls who are always in pursuit of the false enjoyment of illusion, and at the same time engaged in searching out your own desired object, Lord Shyamasundara. Now, these are the three qualities that this verse mentions that this Mahapurusha has. And the Acharyas say this verse can be applied equally to Krishna, Rama, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's read the purport. It's really nice. Purport this is purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Hridayan Maharaj and Gopi Parandana Prabhu. According to the Vaishnava Acharyas, this important verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam is understood to describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, and also Lord Sri Ramachandra. This verse appears within the discussion of the sage Karabhajana of the Yuga avatars, or the different incarnations of the personality of Godhead who deliver the conditioned souls of each age. Now, this is one commonality, is that Krishna was the Yuga avatar, Lord Ramachandra was the Yuga avatar, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Yuga avatar of Kali Yuga. The prayers ending with the word Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam are understood to glorify the incarnation of Lord Krishna in Kali Yuga, known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived for 24 years in Navadvip as a householder and enjoyed immense popularity among both scholars and ordinary persons. His Sankirtan movement was completely supported by the local government, even though it was Muslim. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the pleasure of marrying the goddess of fortune. No ordinary woman of the material world, no matter how gorgeous she may be, can in any way compare with the beautiful goddess of fortune. Everyone in the universe, including Lord Brahma, is searching after the goddess of fortune. Therefore, it is stated here, Surepshita. And this is the first quality of the verse, right? That he is renouncing even the association of the goddess of fortune and all the opulence that comes with it, that even the demigods find it difficult. So here, the Acharya is saying how Mahaprabhu had all this opulence, right? He was there in Navadvip, the Chand Kazi there was allowing his Sankirtan movement to flourish. He had two wives actually, Vishnu Priya Devi and Lakshmi Priya Devi, who were the goddesses of fortune themselves, literally. So, this was Mahaprabhu's situation. However, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna appearing as a Brahmana, and therefore he is certainly Dharmishta, or the most religious. Actually, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always Dharmishta, whether he appears as a cowherd boy, a great king, or a Brahmana, because the Lord himself is the original source and personification of all religious principles. However, in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are very few political or economic activities. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as a great philosopher Brahmana, and thus he is certainly Dharmishta. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the 17th chapter of Adi Leela, it is described that a certain Brahmana who was well known for being harsh and cursing others could not enter the Kirtan hall where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Kirtan, because the door was locked. Being very agitated and breaking his Brahmana's thread, he cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the next day on the bank of the Ganges, saying, "I shall now curse you, for your behavior is greatly aggrieved me. You shall be bereft of all material happiness." However, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt great jubilation within himself, since his mission was Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga, to give up the illusion of material sense gratification and staunchly engage 24 hours a day in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took this curse as a blessing, and soon after the Lord took sannyas. Thus it is stated in this verse that by the words of the Aryan, the Brahmana, Arya Vachasa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyasa, yat agada aranyam, and went traveling through the different forests of India on the way to Vrindavan and later South India. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted especially to preserve the prestige of Brahmana class, and therefore he decided to keep the Brahmana's curse intact. So this is Mahaprabhu who is speaking about the second quality of how, due to the Brahmana's curse, being a very religious personality, he wanted to honor the curse of the Brahmana, and Mahaprabhu felt very happy. The curse was actually a blessing, where the Brahmana said, "You will not have any material happiness," which meant he would only have spiritual happiness. And then started traveling and left his home and became a sannyasi. And the last quality Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained the word Maya Mrigam as follows. Maya means one's so-called wife, children and bank account, which keep one firmly bound up in the material concept of life. The word Mrigam indicates Mrigyati, or to search out. Thus, Maya Mrigam indicates the conditioned living entity who is always frantically searching for the latest up-to-the-minute sense gratification in the material bodily concept of society, friendship and love. Anvadavat indicates that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always visibly going here and there, searching after the fallen conditioned souls. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes embrace the conditioned souls on the pretext of religious friendship or ecstasy. But actually the Lord was touching the bodies of conditioned souls to pull them out of the ocean of material existence and hurl them into the ocean of ecstatic love of Godhead. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the most merciful and munificent incarnation of the Lord, whose mercy surpassed the bounds of mundane discrimination in the matter of caste, color and creed. So this is the third quality of that this verse is describing, of how by his mercifulness he is chasing after fallen conditioned souls and giving them love for God. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu satisfies all three, right? So now I don't want to continue reading the purport, but think about how Lord Ramachandra actually satisfies also all these three qualities. The first quality is you gave up the association of the goddess of fortune and all her opulence. Did Lord Ramachandra do it? Yeah, in many ways actually. He was actually supposed to be the king. He was going to be coronated the next day. And then bam, his father comes and says, sorry, you're not the king anymore. You're not going to live in the palace. You're not even going to live in the same city. What you're going to do is go to the forest. Right? Without any opulence. You're not going to have all the thousands of servants you had. No riches, no opulence, nothing. And Lord Ramachandra did it. He renounced everything. And he said, yes, this is what my father wants. I'll do it for him. And this is another similarity also between Lord Ramachandra's father and Mahaprabhu's father, Jagannath Mishra, is that both of them had to be separated from their sons, especially, and they had to leave their bodies. Especially with Jagannath Mishra, he left his body due to separation of his eldest son, Vishwarup. When he took sannyas and left home, Jagannath Mishra could just not take it, because both of them, Dasharatha and Jagannath Mishra, had children after a lot of sacrifice actually. It was not easy for them to have children. The Lord Ramachandra was born after such big sacrifice. They were trying for such a long time to have children. And it was the same with Jagannath Mishra also, is that they had 8 children who were born and immediately died. And then they had Vishwarup, their eldest son. And when they left, it was just impossible for them to live. So both of them left their bodies. But this quality Lord Ramachandra exhibited of how he didn't care really for all these riches and opulences. And the second quality, he said, being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you thus left for the forest in obedience to the Brahmana's curse. In this case, it was not a direct curse of Lord Ramachandra, right? This curse was on his father. This father got this curse from when he killed the boys of the Brahmanas, right? What was his name? Shravan. This is what I was thinking. And then he was cursed, and then, okay, he said, you will be separated from your children, just son, just like how you've separated us from our son. Yeah. So, but then Lord Ramachandra, being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, accepted and went to the forest, to the Dandakaranya forest. And then third quality, out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls. Here the acharyas have a little interpretation of this word Maya Mrigam. The fallen conditioned souls means one who is chasing after illusion. Maya Mrigam. That's one way you can understand this word. The acharyas say Mrigam also means animal. And did Lord Ramachandra chase after an animal? Yeah. Mother Sita wanted this golden deer. This is Maya. It was illusion. This was not actually a deer. This is what illusion is, right? We're thinking something that which is not. And Lord Ramachandra went chasing after this Maya Mrigam. So in this way, this verse speaks about Lord Ramachandra, and also it speaks of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it speaks of Krishna also. Can we think of how it speaks of Krishna also? Of how he left all the opulence? Here, we read in the purport how he did it. Does anybody remember what the purport says of how Krishna left all his opulence? No, in the purport. In the purport, it says Krishna became a Brahmana as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that way, he left all his opulence, he says. But in other ways also, when Krishna was born, where was he born? He was born in the palace. He was born with everything. It was not that Krishna was born like an ordinary child, right? When Krishna was born, it was the pitch dark, middle of the night, and yet everything was like bright and shiny. He had all this jewelry, crown, adorned with so much opulence and riches. And then Devaki and Vasudeva requested, you cannot be like this. Kamsa will find out. And then he gave up, renounced all these riches and opulences and said, okay, because you're saying it, I'll give up everything. So he gave up everything and then went to the forest. And where did he go? He went to Vrindavan. Right? And out of sheer mercifulness, chased after the fallen conditioned souls, it says. So Uddhava speaks of how merciful Krishna is. This is the epitome of how merciful he says. He says, Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam sayapaya yadapya sadvi lebe gatim datruchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. He says, how can I take shelter of somebody who is more merciful than Krishna?